Hey everyone, this is a really fascinating question about past generation healing. I've been thinking about healing, and I know I've heard people talk about talk about how healing also heals generation lines backwards and forwards. This makes sense in quantum physics and oneness terms, but not to the human mind view of linear time. I'm wondering if I've heard this from you. If so, and it's a suitable question, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yes, it's really a suitable question because it doesn't make sense, this idea of healing past or future generations, from the perspective that the past is fixed and it's an objective truth, and the future is also fixed. Because that's what's going to happen. And so when we think back on our past, and if we believe that our past is exactly represented in our mind, then this makes no sense at all. But when we start to consider that, and this is goosebumps, I think, this is huge stuff. When we consider that the entirety of our past, and therefore all past, is held and represented and experienced now in this minute. It's whatever is remembered, how it's remembered, is a function of now. It's not a function of then. It's not a property of the past. It's a property of the mind right now, and its beliefs, its understanding, its insecurities, its mood, its emotion. It's all happening now. And this is huge, this. And the controversy of that is that it looks like we are rewriting the past. We're saying things didn't happen, that we're spiritual bypassing maybe traumatic events that we suffered. And in fact, it's doing the opposite of that, really, because it's actually for the first time saying, well, let's actually look at what that past is. Let's get really close to it. And let's see how it appears, changes according to whatever is going on with me in this moment right now. And even a tiniest glimpse of that is so enormous. And so what happens, I would say that, like, the core element of healing really is when all actions are understood to be impersonal, when it's realized that all behavior, all words are coming from a program. There is no chooser. There's no person that learned that conditioning that is now giving rise to actions. It's the system that learns, and the system that produces words and actions. And the more clear that is, the more it's deeply understood that there can't be blame and there can't be self-blame. There can just be acknowledgement that a system is running, that a program is running, and that more and more it's within us to direct that program according to our own words, our own boundaries, our own actions, we are directly impacting the program of others. And that's enormous. It's simultaneously the end of blame and the start of ultimate accountability for the way that everything is appearing, the way everything is represented. Yeah, there's no words for how huge this is. And that means then that as things that happened in our past are more and more understood from the perspective that they weren't personal to us, and there was no way they could have been made any different, because they were coming directly from what everyone involved was programmed to do by their own minds' learnings. Then, and also, so there's that's programmed, and also our perceptions are programmed, so our interpretation is programmed. The whole thing is completely impersonal. There's so much freedom in seeing this, and that changes fundamentally this status of ourselves as either victim or villain. Victim and villain doesn't exist in that space, which I know is hard to hear, but it is actually the truth. And that is healing. And that is essentially from that space, the whole past rejigs itself in line with truth, in line with the sanity that there is no chooser. And so the past, which exists only here, is healed. Yeah. And so that's it. That's it. And the future then is radically altered, even though there still remains no chooser, because our system, this system that doesn't have a separate Claire deciding, that is just running, is now running from a foundation of sanity, with nothing to prove, with no past troubles to replicate out in the world, with no distorting lens of myself as victim or villain, none of that. Just love and freedom, intelligence, responding to what is happening right now. And that's our future. And it's infinite potential from that space. Oh, I love this question. It's a hard question because our identity depends on our past. And so this might be confronting, but it's freedom ultimately. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Lots of love. Bye.